The rise of the digital forensics investigator. From hobbyist to essential professional in a data-driven world. Welcome. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating evolution of the digital forensics investigator. We will look at how this role has transformed from a niche hobby into an absolutely essential profession in our modern, data-driven world. The landscape of digital evidence has changed dramatically, and the professionals who navigate it have had to adapt right alongside it. This slide sets the stage. The key takeaway is the concept of evolution. The field didn't start with the sophisticated tools and massive data centers we have today. It began organically out of necessity. From hobbyist to essential professional, highlights the professionalization of the industry as technology became intertwined with every aspect of criminal and corporate activity. The genesis, establishing the science of digital evidence. Let's go back to the beginning. In the 1970s and 80s, personal computers were just emerging, and with them, the very first computer crimes. Law enforcement didn't have dedicated cyber units. They relied on officers who were basically computer hobbyists in their spare time to recover data using very basic techniques. A major shift happened in 1984 when the FBI established the first Computer Analysis and Response Team, or CART. This was crucial because it began formalizing the protocols for handling digital evidence. Then came the 1990s and the internet boom. Suddenly, we saw new types of cybercrimes like hacking and online fraud. This forced the development of dedicated forensic software, and the field shifted its focus from just computer forensics to the much broader scope of digital forensics. This slide covers the foundational history of the discipline. The hobbyist era, 1970 to 80. Emphasize how informal the beginnings were. It was ad hoc problem solving by tech enthusiasts within law enforcement. Formalization, 1984. Highlight the FBI's CART as a turning point. This is when the ad hoc method started becoming standardized, repeatable scientific processes necessary for court admissibility. The internet boom, 1990s. Explain that connectivity changed the game. Crimes were no longer isolated to a single physical machine. This required new tools and a broader perspective on what constituted digital evidence, moving beyond just the physical hard drive. The explosion, a decentralized and staggering data landscape. If the 90s were the spark, the 2000s were the explosion. The mid-2000s brought the mobile revolution. Smartphones became ubiquitous, introducing massive new sources of evidence, location tracking, encrypted messaging, and mobile operating systems that update constantly. By the late 2000s and into the 2010s, we hit the era of the cloud and big data. Data was no longer just on a hard drive in a suspect's house. It was scattered across virtual, decentralized servers globally. The sheer volume became staggering, making manual analysis practically impossible. Because of this complexity, the field had to fragment into specialized spin-off disciplines, such as dedicated cloud forensics and IT, or Internet of Things forensics. This slide illustrates the rapid scaling of the challenge. The mobile revolution. Smartphones changed everything because they are highly personal, constantly connected, and heavily encrypted. They provide a much richer, but more complex, evidentiary picture than a traditional PC. The cloud and big data. The key point here is the end of manual analysis. When data is decentralized and measured in terabytes or petabytes, human review alone is insufficient. Spin-off disciplines. Just as medicine has specialties, cardiology, neurology. Digital forensics had to specialize because no single investigator can be an expert in all device types, cloud architectures, and IoT protocols. The modern battlefield, converging pressures on investigations. Today, the digital investigator operates on a complex modern battlefield. They face 5 converging pressures on every active investigation. First is massive data volume, sifting through terabytes of noise to find the signal, with a high risk of missing critical evidence. Second is rapid technological change. New apps, devices, and OS updates require relentless, ongoing adaptation. Third is pervasive encryption. End-to-end encryption on apps and full-disk encryption create significant technical barriers. Fourth, we have complex legal issues. Data isn't bound by borders, creating jurisdictional hurdles and strict compliance requirements like GDPR. Finally, anti-forensic techniques. Criminals are actively using specialized tools designed specifically to hide, alter, or permanently destroy the very evidence we are trying to find. This slide details the daily realities and struggles of a modern practitioner. Massive volume. It's the needle in a haystack problem on a massive scale. Rapid change. What worked yesterday might not work today due to an overnight software update. Encryption. The going dark problem. Investigators often know evidence exists, but cannot access it. Legal issues. Technology moves faster than the law. Navigating international data requests is a major bottleneck. Anti-forensics. It's an arms race. Suspects are tech-savvy and actively trying to thwart investigations. The human element. With all these technical challenges, it's easy to focus only on the tools. Yes, technology created this complex landscape, but technology alone cannot secure it or solve the case. As our devices multiply and encryption grows deeper, the human element becomes more vital, not less. It is the investigator's intuition, their overarching strategy, and their critical thinking that ultimately pieces the puzzle together. This is a pivotal philosophical point of the presentation. It counters the idea that better software will automatically solve crimes. Tools only process data. Humans conduct the investigation. The investigator's ability to form hypotheses and understand human behavior remains irreplaceable. The digital detective, a hybrid professional. To survive in this landscape, the modern digital detective must be a hybrid professional, balancing three distinct roles. They must be the scientist, following rigorous, methodical processes to ensure that all evidence is preserved without alteration and remains legally admissible in court. They must be the technologist, mastering complex hardware, software, and rapidly evolving operating systems. And crucially, they must be the investigator, possessing the critical thinking and analytical mindset needed to connect hidden dots, understand motive, and uncover the truth. This slide defines the necessary skill set for success in the field. Scientist emphasizes the legal requirement for repeatable, objective methodology, chain of custody, hash values. Technologist emphasizes the hard technical skills required to extract and parse data. Investigator emphasizes the soft skills, logic, deduction, and understanding the why behind the data. An investigator without these skills is just a technician. Core competencies and strategic deployment. This hybrid skill set translates into specific core competencies that are highly sought after across multiple sectors. These competencies include proper evidence collection and maintaining chain of custody, deep technical knowledge of disk, mobile, and cloud forensics, the ability to handle incident response and malware triage during active cyber attacks. And finally, the ability to translate technical findings into objective reports and expert testimony. These skills are deployed strategically everywhere, from law enforcement and government for criminal cases, to corporate security protecting intellectual property, to law firms handling civil e-discovery, and financial institutions mitigating fraud. This slide demonstrates the broad applicability of the profession. It shows that digital forensics is no longer just for the police. The skills left column are universally applicable to the needs right column of various industries. Note how the visual lines connect all competencies to all sectors, showing versatility. The Forensics Evolution Matrix. This matrix summarizes our journey. In the dawn of the 1980s, evidence was on floppy disks, extracted manually by law enforcement hobbyists whose main challenge was standardization. During the explosion of the 2000s, evidence moved to mobile devices and the cloud. Extraction required software assistance by specialized technologists, and the main challenge was sheer data volume. Today, in the AI era of the 2020s and beyond, we face multi-source terabyte networks. We must rely on AI automated triage to combat encryption and deepfakes. The investigator of today is that hybrid strategist we just discussed. This slide acts as a concise recap of the historical evolution, organizing the information into clear eras. It clearly illustrates the progression from manual, localized work to automated, decentralized, and highly complex investigations. It serves to transition the presentation toward the future, AI. The future is now, AI as the ultimate force multiplier. Finally, we look to the present and the future. Artificial intelligence is the ultimate force multiplier for the modern investigator. When faced with terabytes of noise, AI processes are essential. AI provides automated data analysis, scanning massive datasets in minutes to identify anomalies that a human would miss. Image and video analysis, quickly categorizing media and utilizing facial recognition. Truth verification, helping to identify manipulated media and deepfakes. Predictive intelligence, forecasting emerging risks before they escalate. This creates the ultimate human-AI partnership. AI handles the repetitive, high-volume triage. This frees the human expert, the digital detective, to focus entirely on what they do best: hypothesis generation, critical thinking, and overall investigation strategy. This concluding slide provides the solution to the massive data volume problem introduced earlier. It positions AI not as a replacement for the investigator, but as a critical tool. The funnel graphic illustrates how AI filters the noise so the human can focus on the actionable intelligence at the bottom. The key message is synergy. AI does the heavy lifting, humans do the high-level thinking.